It is a dark weekend for the Nigeria police force and the people of Katsina State, as the cold hands of death have once again snatched a gallant officer in the line of duty, leaving a family without a father and a command without its leader. We often hear the phrase unknown gunmen or bandits in the news, but today the tragedy has a specific name, a specific face, and a heartbreaking location that reminds us of the dangerous sacrifices our security operatives make every single day. The headline you saw is not just a story, it is the reality of the war ongoing in our forests, a war that has just claimed the life of a Divisional Police Officer, CSP Muhammad Sani Sagir, in a brutal ambush that has sent shockwaves through the security architecture of northern Nigeria. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Friday, February 13, 2026, paints a vivid and terrifying picture of the tactics now being employed by terror groups in the northwest. It all began in the Magaji community, located in the Majen-Gobe ward of Rimi local government area. This is an area that has seen its fair share of turbulence, but nothing could have prepared the residents or the police for the calculated ferocity of what was about to happen. Sources on the ground confirmed that the police command received a distress call around 10 a.m. The report was standard but urgent. Armed bandits had invaded the community and were rustling cattle. For those who understand the dynamics of this conflict, cattle rustling is often used as a bait, a way to draw security forces out of their fortified stations and into the open, unpredictable terrain of the forests. CSP Sagir, described by his colleagues as a brave and hands-on leader, did not send his boys alone, he led the team himself. This is the mark of a true commander, one who leads from the front. They mobilized quickly, determined to recover the stolen livestock and protect the livelihood of the Magaji community. As they trailed the rustlers, the tracks led them away from the village and deep into a nearby forest. The forest, with its dense cover and difficult terrain, is the natural playground of these terrorists, and unbeknownst to the DPO and his team, they were walking into a well-laid death trap. As the police team pushed further in, the silence of the bush was shattered by a sudden, overwhelming barrage of gunfire. The terrorists had positioned themselves in strategic ambush spots, waiting for the officers to get within range. The exchange of fire was fierce. It was a battle for survival in the middle of nowhere. Despite the surprise attack, the police team fought back gallantly. Reports indicate that they managed to neutralize one of the attackers during the gun duel, proving that they did not go down without a fight. However, the volume of fire from the bandits was heavy. In the chaos of the shootout, CSP Sagir sustained critical gunshot injuries. One can only imagine the scene, the dust, the noise, the desperate shouts of officers trying to cover their commander. Tragically, the DPO could not survive the severity of his wounds. He paid the supreme price there in the forest, a martyr for the peace of his nation. But he was not the only casualty. 3 other police operatives and a woman were also wounded in the crossfire, highlighting just how messy and dangerous these forest operations have become. As we process this painful news, I want to pause for a second and ask you to support this channel. We are committed to bringing you these difficult stories that the mainstream media might gloss over, digging deep into the facts to keep you informed about the true state of our nation. If you appreciate this detailed reporting and want to stay ahead of the news, please hit that like button right now. It really helps us reach more Nigerians who need to know. And if you are new here, do not just watch and leave. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on the security situation. Your support keeps us going. Now, looking deeper into this tragedy, the escape of the bandits with some of the stolen livestock tells us that their mission was not just to kill, but to loot and terrorize. While some animals were recovered by the operatives, the attackers managed to flee deeper into the forest, disappearing into the shadows from where they came. This incident has drawn sharp reactions from security experts, including a well-known analyst covering the Northwest, Katsina, who described the killing of CSP Sagir as a tragic reminder of the persistent insecurity we are facing. It raises a very disturbing question that we need to talk about. If a divisional police officer, a senior commander with training, weapons, and a team can be ambushed and killed so easily, what hope does the common man in the village have? This is not an isolated incident. Just days ago, we heard of similar unrest in the Faskari axis, where communities like Doma were attacked with heavy casualties. The pattern is becoming terrifyingly predictable. The terrorists strike, the police respond, and an ambush lays in wait. It suggests that these criminal groups have high-grade intelligence. How did they know the DPO would come? How did they know which route to trap? These are questions that the Katsina State Police Command and the force headquarters in Abuja must answer. The loss of a DPO is a morale killer. It sends a signal to the junior officers that nobody is safe. It emboldens the criminals to think they are untouchable. The wounded officers and the civilian woman have been rushed to the hospital, and we pray for their quick recovery, but the psychological scar will remain. For the residents of Rimi local government area, the fear is palpable. When the protector is killed, the protected tremble. We are seeing a situation where the forests have become ungovernable spaces, sovereign states within a state where bandits rule as kings. The manhunt that has been launched to track down the killers is the standard procedure, but how many times have we heard manhunt launched only for the case to go cold? We need results. We need to see these perpetrators paraded and brought to justice, not just for the sake of the law, but for the honor of CSP Sagir. We must also consider the timing. This is happening in February 2026, a time when we were promised that the security architecture would be revamped. Yet here we are, counting bodies of our finest officers. The bravery of the Nigerian police officer is often underappreciated. They work with limited equipment, poor welfare, and face enemies armed with military-grade weapons, yet they still answer the distress call. CSP Sagir answered the call. He didn't give excuses about fuel or bad roads. He went into that forest because he believed in his duty to protect the people of Magaji. His death should not be in vain. It should serve as a wake-up call to the federal government to deploy more technology, drones, surveillance aircraft, and better armored vehicles to these flashpoints. You cannot fight a forest war with Hilux vans and AK-47s alone. You need air superiority and real-time intelligence to spot ambushes before they happen. There is also a growing sentiment among the populace that the rules of engagement need to change. The defensive posture of waiting for attacks and then responding is costing lives. Many are calling for a total sweep of these forests, a coordinated military and police offensive that clears these camps once and for all. But until that happens, we are left to mourn heroes like CSP Sagir. His family is now left to navigate life without their breadwinner, a pain that is becoming too common in police barracks across the nation. As the sun sets on Katsina today, the mood is somber. The police station in Rimi is missing its commander. The files on his desk are still there. The orders he gave yesterday are still fresh, but he's gone. It's a harsh, brutal reality. We will continue to monitor the situation closely to see if the manhunt yields any arrests. We will keep asking the hard questions about the safety of our officers. But for now, we remember a hero who died trying to get back stolen cattle for a poor farmer. That is the definition of service.